One last weekend to determine 6 playoff spots. We'll run down the possibilities. A North Division team is looking forward to following up a good regular season with a great postseason. And this year's all-ECHL teams have been announced. We'll run them down. It's time to head down the home stretch on ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to another edition of ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. This time we come to you from the Norfolk Scope Arena in Norfolk, Virginia, home of the Admirals. You may know this interesting-looking building is hosting the ECHL All-Star Classic in January, but before that happens, we have other things to attend to. Let's check out this week in the ECHL. We've arrived at the final weekend of the regular season, and with just 28 games remaining on the schedule, 6 Kelly Cup playoff spots are still up for grabs. Here's the rundown. 2 divisions are fairly straightforward. In the South, the 4th and final postseason spot will go to either Greenville or Orlando. Tonight's game, which pits the Swamp Rabbits against the Solar Bears, will be significant to determine which team will face the division champion, either Florida or Atlanta, in the first round of the playoffs. It's possible that it might take until the schedule's final game, Greenville at Norfolk, late Sunday afternoon, to have the final position decided. Just 2 teams are fighting for the final central spot too. Cincinnati has the lead over Kalamazoo entering the final weekend. The Cyclones also hold a slight first tiebreaker lead, although the K-Wings have a small edge in the second tiebreaker. The team which survives here will play division winner Toledo in the opening playoff round. The other divisions are more complicated, with 3 teams vying for 2 spots. In the North, Trois-Rivières enters the final weekend in the driver's seat, and with both its games left versus Worcester, the Lions control their own fate. Of course, that goes for the Railers too. Maine needs to win its remaining games and hope for one of the other teams to lose out. But it's still complicated and the tiebreakers are close. Points percentages are the determining factor here. It's even closer in the Mountain Division. Tulsa has a 1-point margin over both Idaho and Allen. Entering the weekend, all 3 are tied in the first tiebreaker too. The Americans do finish the season at home while the others are on the road. There are scenarios where any 2 of these 3 could make it, and since the division champ has yet to be decided, the first round playoff matchups here are anyone's guess. One thing is certain, in both the Central and Mountain Divisions, we'll know the outcomes on Saturday night. All the Western Conference teams will finish their schedules that evening. ECHL Week on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram will have the results and implications within minutes after things have been decided. Make sure to go there for the info. Also to be determined, 3 division titles and, of course, the Brabham Cup champion. Central Division winner Toledo has the upper hand for the overall regular season crown, but Reading still has a chance to win its first ever ECHL points title. Speaking of Reading, the Royals have flown under the radar for much of the season. The North Division pace setter needs a win in its last 2 games to enter the playoffs as the top point getter in the Eastern Conference. We recently spoke with a few team members to hear their thoughts entering the regular season's final stages and the upcoming postseason.
We haven't played a playoff game since 2018, right? Like, we lost out on the last day of the season and went on that incredible run and thought we were going to get in, and basically lost on Saturday night at 9:30 after we beat Adirondack on the last day of the year. You know, we kind of had the same mentality in 2020, and like I said, the core group that came back, like, yeah, like, we're itching. And I know, you know, Jay Bird, our equipment guy, Sean, who was here, our trainer, and myself, yeah, like, I'm excited as anybody.
K-Mac's a really smart guy. He's been down this road before. He knows what it takes, and he's just imparting that wisdom onto all of us. So it's just little things like that. Just don't take ozone penalties. Be smart with the puck. Make good plays. Get it out of your zone. Both blue lines, you have to get it in, get it out. So, you know, just listening to him, and sometimes he's a little harder on us than he needs to be, but he's still a good coach.
Pat Nagel, good friend and obviously on the team. Part of the year. He's been through it all in all different leagues. So, you know, I think he's been hyping up the guys a lot this year and getting us all prepared and ready because obviously the regular season is one thing, but once it's playoff time, you know, none of that matters anymore. And so, yeah, you know, we're all excited.
You go through a little bit of the dog days in the last 2 months, just kind of everything being so repetitive, but I think our group has done a good job to just look forward and look at the big picture. And now, like you said, we got the playoffs coming up, and our group was pretty excited.
We lost 9-1 on Thanksgiving weekend in Trois-Rivières and could have folded the tents. Then the next night we're down 2-0 halfway through the game, and we battled back to get a point. I think that was kind of the turning point that whole week. Then Wednesday we go up to Newfoundland, lose a tough one where we really turned our brains off for a couple plays, and they scored, and that's the kind of team they are. And we kind of had a bit of a come to Jesus moment after that game, and ever since those guys decided, hey, we got a good group here, we want to work, and they've done it.
I'm just looking to the day-by-day grind. I love playing these hockey games when it comes to playoff time, and this is what you dream about when you're a kid. You want to play in those high physical, high intensity games where if you lose, you go home. You know, that's what sports are. It's all about finding the winner, and sometimes you're not it, but that's what makes it so enjoyable.
We'll introduce the 2021-22 All-League teams next on ECHL Week.
Thinking of selling your home? Now is the perfect time. Want to know what homes like yours are selling for? Let Will Springer be your trusted real estate representative. Contact Will today.
Resume moments like these by protecting our kids against COVID-19 and dangerous new variants. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
I'm in the timekeeper's box at Norfolk Scope, and in my hand is a tablet. Not just any tablet computer, but the one used by game officials to decide on video replay. Is it a goal? Is it not a goal? The tablet knows all. Let's check out news from all around the ECHL. Our news segment today consists of the start of the 21-22 awards announcements. The All-League first team is led by goaltender Francois Brassard of Jacksonville, tops in the ECHL in goals against average. The defensemen are Utah's Charles-Edouard Dastou, the top goal-scoring blue liner in the league, and Newfoundland's Ben Finkelstein, who leads the way in both assists and points among all defenders. Up front, Will Graber of Fort Wayne, the league's leading scorer, leads a talented group of skaters. Graber is joined on the first-team forward line by Toledo's TJ Hensick, number 2 in the league in assists, behind only Graber, and Wheeling's Patrick Watling, who's the only 30-goal scorer on this season's first team. The All-League second team also features players who have had outstanding seasons. The goaltender is Keith Petruzzelli of Newfoundland. The rookie is tied for second in the ECHL with 4 shutouts. He's given up 2 or fewer goals in 13 of his 22 games. The blue line features Josh Maniscalco of Wheeling, who's third among all defenders in points. He's joined by Toledo's Randy GAZZOLA, who's second among defensemen in assists. He also has 4 game-winning goals. The second-team forwards are led by veteran Chad Costello of Allen, who's named to an All-League team for the 5th time in his ECHL career. Another vet, Zach O'Brien of the Growlers, has been named to the second team for the 2nd time in his career. And completing the second-team forwards is Iowa's Kris BENNETT, the league's leading goal scorer. His 25 power play points is tied for second best in the ECHL. The quality of this year's all-rookie team is evident. 3 of them were named to the All-League second team. That includes goaltender Petruzzelli of Newfoundland, whose goals against average would lead the league if he had enough minutes to qualify. Wheeling's Maniscalco also receives a second honor by being named an all-rookie team blue liner. The other all-rookie team defenseman is Utah's Luke Martin, who's 5th among first-year blue liners with a +21 rating. Iowa's Bennett leads the way among rookie forwards. He's also appeared in 12 American Hockey League games this season. He's joined by Tulsa's Jack DOREMUS, who's tied for second among rookies with 28 goals and is third in points. Rounding out the fine freshman is Benjamin Tardif of the Grizzlies. His 39 assists are best among all first-year players this season. The first of the individual awards have also been announced. Iowa goaltender Trevin KOZLOWSKI has been selected as the winner of the Community Service Award. His Trevin's Tickets program provides complimentary game access to active or retired military members. In addition, he meets with his guests after each home game. And the Sportsmanship Award goes to Zach O'Brien of Newfoundland. A well-respected veteran with his 3rd ECHL team, he's incurred just 2 penalties this season. He's also played in 5 AHL games. It's the second time O'Brien's won this award. He's only the third player to take home this honor on multiple occasions. League coaches, broadcasters, media relations directors, and media members cast votes for the all-league teams. Next week, announcements of additional individual awards continue, including those for top goalie, defenseman, coach, and most valuable player.
Hi, I'm AJ White with the Idaho Steelheads, and you can tweet at me at AJ18White.
We continue our season-long conversations with new ECHL head coaches. Today, Ben Guittet of the Maine Mariners, who talks about his first go-round behind the bench in the pro ranks.
It's pretty much as expected it would be. I mean, like I said, player pool is a little different. Being a first-time head coach was nerve-wracking, but that in itself was the reason I wanted to do it, just because I haven't done it, and I felt that was a challenge I was ready for. And but yeah, it kept my family in Maine. It kept us where the part of the world we really enjoy, and it was something we were able to do.
Guittet knew he'd have plenty on his plate moving to the ECHL.
I can't say I'm the best at everything, that's for sure. But coaching the NCAA, you do have to wear a lot of hats. Also, it's not just about coaching hockey. So that's something I had to juggle. It's different things, of course, right? With player movement and housing and immigration and all. That's not something I did at the NCAA level, but there were different things that you needed to do. So it's just time management and planning ahead. I knew the player movement was crazy in the ECHL. I think this year was probably really a big test for that, considering the pandemic and, the taxi squads, and especially like the seniors last year in the NCAA staying put. It's just the pool of players really short, and that was difficult to navigate, but overall it's been a really good experience. We had a good group of guys. It's been a lot of fun to work with.
Guittet is sure his optimistic approach will lead to long-term success for the Mariners.
I think that's the style of coaching I like to have. You always have to have hard conversations, but at the same time as a coach you have to set the tone for how you want your team to be, and I take a lot of pride, and it takes effort also sometimes. It's not always easy, but at the same time that's something I like to provide.
When you're on the road, you gotta keep working out. Although you should probably use workout clothes. Anyway, these highlights are pretty good. I've already seen them, but you might want to check them out.
In our first clip, it's hard to believe how little time this shot by Aaron Luchuk of Orlando spends in the net.
The Bears celebrate, the light did not flash!
But video review confirms the goal, and the Solar Bears pick up 2 important standings points.
Net is a goal!
Allen's Brandon Truk starts this play at the blue line and holds onto the puck all the way around the net before depositing his second goal of the night on the way to a hat trick versus Wichita. Lucas Craggs of Cincinnati gets off his shot in a hurry. This was one of the scores in his natural hat trick, which occurred in a key win at Newfoundland.
One in each top corner here in the first period.
And here's another natty hattie. Ryan Kuffner of Iowa records the final 3 goals of the game in a Heartlanders victory over Kalamazoo.
Kuffner shoots it short side, blocker save, rebound, score! Ryan Kuffner! Wow! Shoots it to Kuffner for the hat trick, fires, scores! Ryan Kuffner has 3 and Iowa with icing!
That puts the wraps on another episode of ECHL Week from Norfolk, Virginia. Thanks very much for watching. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media channels. You know what they are. It's the best way to keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL. See you next time.